Welcome in, everyone. Let me welcome Gianluca. Apart the fact that I don't know where you're seeing them, so probably here, Gianluca and Gianluca. As I told you, remembering their names it will be really, really easy. So welcome in first. Thank you so much for proposing to do this theme because it was since I started streaming on Twitch that I wanted to bring Europiamo live. So I'm really happy that Gianluca Blue. We have Blue Gianluca. That Blue Gianluca went like, why don't we do a stream on Twitch? So they are two of the members of Europiano. Actually, Gianluca Red is the founding member, one of the founding member of Europiamo in I think 2020 or 21, more or less.
It's 2018
18.
where this masterminded
I was far
Europiamo. So
away.
actually, yeah.
So
Sort of, yes.
sort of. So I'm actually going to leave you the stage explaining
Thank you,
what
Ellie.
Europiamo is, what we do, and why we're here today.
Yes.
All yours.
Thank you, Ellie, and hello, everybody. As Ellie already said, I'm Gianluca, and I'm from Torino in Italy. And with me, I have.
The other Gianluca from Collegno, actually, but yeah, very close to Torino as well.
Yeah, so basically, we have the same name, we're from the same town, we live super close, and at some point, we decided to work together. And right now, we are working together in this organization, which is a network of um, let's say associations and um, group of people that and people and youngsters that wants to somehow uh, get the Europe closer to Italian youngsters, and to do so, we decided to open such a network that now has like members from the northern Italy to the southern seashores and islands included. So we're super happy to be here. And what we're gonna do today is to show you and to somehow let you know about the European programs that will let you enrich your curriculum, that will let you create a network of friends all over Europe. They will let you travel all around Europe with some meaningful opportunities and not just traveling around. So, John, maybe you can also add something.
Yes, so the idea is that again we introduce these opportunities so you know where to find them most of all, because this is sometimes the key. So it's not just knowing about what they are, but it's actually knowing where to find them, and we struggle sometimes with that task as
We
well.
do.
And yeah, we share some examples, maybe some of our personal experience. Also, Ellie had some of this kind. So ideally, we can give some inspiration, and then if you want to know more, we are very happy to explore those further.
Exactly. AWG, I see you in chat. We started a bit earlier, but no worries. We just started, so we didn't get yet into the opportunities. Before going deeper in exploring such programs and all the opportunities that we want to propose to you guys, let's start by like checking the room temperature. We want to know how you feel about some of the statements that we will propose you. So basically, we will show you on screen a couple of statements, and then we will ask you to answer on a poll that I think, Ellie, you will start the poll in the chat, so they will be able to answer
Yes.
the poll in chat, right?
Let me put
Exactly.
these. You see the behind the
Perfect.
scenes, and you don't anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Amazing. This is our wonderful logo. So, as I said, I will show you a couple of statements and I want to know what you think about that. So basically, you will answer if you strongly agree with that, then you will click I strongly agree with that statement. If you're in the middle, you will check the middle, or maybe you actually disagree with that statement. So let's check what is the temperature in this room, what's happening in this group of people. And the first statement that I want you to check is Europe is far away from me. So
You have the poll
how
in
is
chat, sorry, and you have one
you have the
minute to
polling track?
answer.
Yeah, you have 1 minute to answer. So how far away is Europe from me? Do you agree with this sentence? Is Europe actually far away from you? Or do you actually fully disagree? Europe is close to you and you feel Europe close to you. What about you, John? How do you feel Europe? Is it far away or
I want
close
to
to
say
you?
one thing that I like in this location where I am. So in the back, I don't know if you see, there is all these papers, and this is actually Europe brought to my home in a way, because these are all memories from activities and projects I've done. So this moment kind of close, and I also have like some special socks on from Salto connected to European projects. So I feel it close, but of course I recognize that this changes so much for different people depending on what they have done in life and what they've experienced. So for me, it's close, but I see that sometimes it's not close enough to everyone.
So 56% of you said that Europe is actually not far away from you, and we're happy about that because it means that you somehow have the same vibe we do have. So we actually like Europe. We want to strengthen Europe, and what we are going to propose you is actually working in this way. Erasmus, which is one of the two programs that we will introduce to you today, was born to make Europeans and to make them closer together, to let them meet. So to put youngsters all over Europe together in the same room and to let them experience what you being European actually means. So cool that you disagree with this sentence, and maybe with what we're going to introduce to you next, Europe will be even closer than it is today. Are these for people in Europe? Um, Old lazy lobsters, maybe uh, when we will introduce you all the four opportunities actually that we selected, we will have time to answer that question as well. But not all the opportunities within the European programs for youngsters are only open to people living in Europe, uh, or that were born in Europe. So stay there because we will answer that question soon. Next sentence. So again, we want to check how you feel about this sentence. Traveling is always an educational experience. John, do you agree with that?
In the broader sense, yes. I think whatever travel you do, you learn something. If not about the place where you go, can be about yourself or things that are useful in your life. But not all have the same value. So very different educational value, depending on different experiences.
And indeed, the poll is now, and the chat is reacting, saying that they agree partially. And I see why. Traveling is not always an educational experience. If you go to Barcelona with your friends and you just party all over the place, maybe that's not the most educational experience of your life. Might be even a bit disruptive, especially in some places. Um, but let's say that whenever you are traveling into a new place or you go abroad, somehow you will learn something. And even meeting new people can be an educational experience. You will learn a lot of things. So, um, yeah, I actually do agree with you guys. It's not always an educational experience, but it can become. And what we're going to introduce to you are educational experience abroad. So it's a new, completely different way of traveling. Good. Let's continue with the third statement. Living abroad worries me. This is actually one of the most important topic of today, and we know it's like the elephant in the room when we when we show these opportunities in schools, in and associations, universities. So, John, you lived abroad already. I also lived abroad.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I wanted to
Were
say. So
you scared?
I can give you my feeling, but then I'm more interested also in yours. Yes, a bit, but for me, the two experiences that I lived the longest abroad for was one time in Greece for 5 months, more or less, and one time in Portugal. And both times it was kind of easy because many things were already arranged for me, so I didn't have to worry about everything. So that was a facilitated starting point. But maybe John, your case is a bit different in a big city like yours. So maybe if you want to share.
Yeah, I lived in Vienna for the past 6 years of my life, 5 years of my life, and yeah, I didn't have that prepared table as Jan had. But at the same time, I think it's been an easy task for me to find an apartment and get uh, into my comfy place in Vienna. But also, Vienna is like the easy level, is the easy mode of living abroad. So I might not be that reliable in that sense. Ellie, have you ever lived abroad? I don't know.
Never. I went abroad, but
Never.
living
And
abroad, never. I think
do you agree with this sentence?
I don't I don't agree and I don't disagree. I think it depends from what I'm looking for. I mean, if I have to, I know that one of the easiest way and one of the easiest first step that I could do to move abroad and like avoid being stressed and anxious and everything is rely on European opportunities. I think it's one of the easier. So that's what I'm pointing to, you know, sooner or later.
So the poll was kind of divided, if I remember well, because I think it's already reset. But basically, most of the people disagreed, but some people they were also like in the middle as you, Ellie. And I see Sophie saying that I'd love to live abroad, but I can't do my dream job abroad, so I'm really conflicted about this. And well, the statement here was like living, so the verb was living, which is like more it's like spending a lot of time in that place, a lot of time abroad. But what we will show you is actually also a numbers of opportunities that will let you spend even a small amount of days, weeks abroad. So, and most of the times you will be in a safe space, in a safe place, with plenty of people helping you, with plenty of people somehow that are there for you, that will tutor you during during uh, the days that you would spend abroad. So sometimes living abroad can be scary. Sometimes spending time abroad and traveling can be a bit scary, especially for those that didn't have a chance to travel that much. But with European programs, traveling is the easiest thing ever. And spending time abroad is actually super accommodating, and again, you will feel most of the times, because like we cannot guarantee at 100%, but most of the time you will feel in a safe place. Good, or safer, let's say. Last last statement. Investing in yourself is costly and a bit demanding. John?
Yeah, for sure. Costly. Well, I would say in two senses. In the sense of sometimes can be economic, can be financial cost, but costly because it's takes a lot of energy, and I think it takes effort over time, and demanding also because you might have other priorities at times, but taking care of yourself and investing in yourself, do this kind of experiences should always be in your radar, no? So demanding because mentally you should always keep those things in mind. So yes, I fully agree if I if I have to tell you my opinion.
And the chat also agrees with you because they are voting mainly for I fully agree, but also some people say that they agree partially, and two people are saying that they fully disagree. Well, I'm in the middle, I would say, because investing in yourself, like spending for training yourself, for learning new things, or going for abroad for an educational experience can also be an expense and sometimes costly and demanding because you will study a lot as you do in this in this wonderful Twitch channel. Uh, but let me tell you that what we're going to propose to you in a matter of a minute or maybe a bit more is fully free. So there's no cost unless you want to spend money on just because you want to. Um, it can be demanding because it's not just traveling and going to Prague or going to Paris and spending time like taking pictures and going to cafe and doing your stuff, because you will do something. You actually spend time to take part into an activity or to take part into a volunteering activity, but at the same time is fully accessible. And especially those four opportunities that we will introduce to you are fully free. And sometimes it's also someone else that is investing in you and in your path towards new skills, hard skills, soft skills. We will see together. So thank you, Ali, for this pause. And maybe, John, we can start right away to introduce the European programs. What do you think?
Yeah, let's go.
Good. I always start from here. So most of you might know already Erasmus. How many of you know Erasmus? Maybe we can have a maybe the people in chat in the chat can tell us. I
Put
know Erasmus.
Heli's
Yeah,
eye. Okay.
I do.
Nice.
Sophie does. AWG does. Okay, so you know Erasmus, and most of the people think that Erasmus is just uh, going abroad for a semester when you are in a college. Do you agree with that? Cool. But actually, the European program is way, way more than that. So the the uh, the college experience, the college semester in Spain, drinking with your roommates, it's just a particle in a galaxy full of opportunities. And you're just here. And today we will let you know four opportunities that are not the mobility, the college mobility, the Erasmus College mobility that maybe you might not know yet. But before going into that, what is a European program? So in order to better understand what a European program is, we use in Europiamo the metaphor of a box. So think about a box. Sometimes in a box you have tools, and a European program is just like a box. In this box you have many tools, which are the experience, the opportunities that are part of the programs. And sometimes you just take a tool and use it. And sometimes some tools you can use some tools many times, so twice, three times, four times, as many times as you want. And there are some tools that you can use them only once, or maybe only twice, or maybe just for a span time and not forever. That's it. Maybe some tools are for people with an age range, and I already see that we have some questions in the chat saying, "Yeah, but I might be too old for this." Trust us, wait for it, because we might have something for you as well. So again, think about these two boxes, which are the two main programs, European programs, for the younger generations in Europe. And these two programs are Erasmus Plus. There's a plus next to Erasmus, which again is a box full of tools, is a box full of opportunities. And then we have the European Solidarity Corps, which is another very important program, very important box full of opportunities inside that you just need to grab and take it. But actually, these are not the only boxes. There are many boxes that European Union is granting. Like we have the Erasmus for young entrepreneurs. Exactly. Even young entrepreneurs can go for an Erasmus for an experience abroad. We have Interreg, Horizon, EURES, internship at the European institutions. There are many, many things that you can do, many boxes. They are full of opportunities. But for today, we will focus only on 4 of these tools in the 2 main boxes that you are seeing in this screen. So the Erasmus Plus and the European Solidarity Corps. These opportunities are youth exchange. We selected this opportunity for you because, of course, we don't have time to talk about all the opportunities that are part of these 2 boxes or all the boxes that we showed you. So we selected what we think might be the most fitting opportunities for you guys. So we selected youth exchange, training course, ESC volunteer, and solidarity project. And as you will see, the first 3 opportunities are opportunities for you to go abroad and somehow spend some time abroad, while the 4th opportunity is for you to have an impact at your local level, so where you are living now, which is super interesting. Ellie, do you know them all?
Yes, I do. I studied. Yes,
You studied,
I
cool.
do. I know 2 of them for experience, and I know 2 of them for knowledge. So,
So let me guess, you went for a youth exchange at some point in your life,
yes, I did.
and maybe for a training course as well?
Yes, I did.
Okay, so I have a good memory. Then let's start with a youth exchange, and maybe Ellie, you can also help us since you have an experience. I do not have an experience with youth exchange because when they started the youth exchange, I was already somehow a bit too old for a youth exchange, and I went for the training courses mainly. But what are the youth exchanges? So basically, those are multicultural exchanges between groups of youngsters from all over Europe. So basically, you will meet with other people into a city or even a countryside town in Europe, sometimes even outside the European Union borders, and you will spend from 5 to 21 days into this place with all these people coming from many countries in Europe and beyond. And you will do activity like it might depends based on what is the key topic of the youth exchange. It could be a youth exchange on sustainability, could be a youth exchange on gaming, even a youth exchange on many stuff that they might like to spend time for it. Uh, Most of youth exchange do not exceed 10 days, so it's super rare to find a youth exchange that actually goes up to 21 days. Uh, but what you will do during this youth exchange is basically experience some non-formal education. So you will experience activities that are always interactive, like workshop style. So you will never experience like someone like what I'm doing right now, teaching you this and this and that with a presentation, like being at school or at college. Nothing like that. It will be always interactive. Most of the times, it will be group works or even games, gamified activities. Um, Sometimes even physical activities. It really depends on the style of facilitation that the singular association that is hosting you will intake. But the non-formal education methodology is what is always granted in a youth exchange. Then it's also an opportunity to network because again, you will meet youngsters from all around Europe, and it's an intercultural learning. And maybe when you experience a youth exchange, probably there was an intercultural night, right?
There was. I feel
There was an
there's one
intercultural.
in every youth exchange. There is an intercultural night. Yep.
Yeah, it's kind of an evergreen in youth exchange. What do they do in an intercultural night? So basically, every person coming from different country brings some food, and in a they select one of the nights, and they will eat all the foods coming from the different countries. So, and maybe they will also teach you about their countries. They will show you pictures, videos, movies, whatever, coming from their countries, and you will get to know a bit more about other places around the world, which is always super nice, and you will eat a lot of good stuff. So that's amazing. And then you will also train your social skills. Um, I'm not saying that you need to train your social skills. I'm not assuming that, but trust me, people from Finland and people from Portugal, they have two completely different ways of interacting with people around. And being in such an environment when you need to adapt to different like approaches actually really strengthen your social skills. And and that's actually a very important soft skill that you can even put in a curriculum vitae. So you can actually say that you have experience in an intercultural environment. You know how to approach an intercultural environment. John, do you agree with that? Do you also have some experience to share about youth exchanges?
I was trying to think and remember some of the intercultural nights I did, which are many, so I cannot remember them all. But yeah, for me, one of the most interesting memory is this trying also different foods and drinks from different places. I think this is something unique. Then, of course, after a while, you kind of try similar stuff. But I think seeing how proud people also are of their culture, and culture can take many different forms, again, can take shape of food and drinks that they bring, or their
Music.
national dance, exactly, like when you dance all together in the circle, or they show something on a video. I think sometimes we forget that it's also nice to promote what we should be proud of, and trying to spread this enthusiasm around a little bit. So yeah, many memories, but I'll tell you my first very quickly.
Hmm.
First youth exchange, I was in Croatia in 2016, I think, at the time, and I was super scared. I have no idea what was gonna happen. My English was not great either, and it was a youth exchange about healthy lifestyle. So we were practicing yoga every morning at 7 a.m. We were eating raw
Hmm.
vegetables at breakfast, which is a bit difficult at the beginning, but yeah, super fun. And then from there many things happened. So it was still a very cool memory to share.
I mean, eating raw vegetables at your first youth exchange is a rough start. I
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
know how to describe it if not a rough start. Um, Let me show you two examples. These are actually one of my examples is in Croatia. So two examples where you actually can then understand what a youth exchange can be. So, for instance, the first one is a youth exchange in Croatia on sustainable art, where they will let you spend 10 days with people from Italy, Germany, Denmark, Spain, the Netherlands, and you will have the opportunity to discover the world of sustainable art forms such as poster art, murals with paints that absorb fine dust particles. Amazing. And I didn't invent any of this. Were actually real youth exchanges. And another example could be youth exchange in Portugal on non-violence practices. Uh, so, as I said, there are many youth exchange on many topics, and it's just a matter of choosing the one that suits to you and that interests you, because you will spend those days, right, having fun with people from all over Europe, but at the same time working together, like taking part to activities on that specific topic. So if it's a topic that you don't really like, that could also bore you a bit, then maybe skip that youth exchange and pass to another one. So that was the youth exchange. How to find a youth exchange is not that easy, because actually you need to find an association maybe close to you. So search for hashtag youth exchange on Instagram, search for associations, organizations in your local area that works with Erasmus Plus, and ask them. Just ask them if they are planning to host or planning to send some people for a youth exchange. Don't be shy because they are always waiting for participants. Just ask. So search on Google for youth organization working with Erasmus Plus in your area. And another cool tip is search for hashtag youth exchange on Instagram. So this was youth exchange. Next one, training course. John.
Yes, I'll try to jump in, but I think they also have some experiences to share. Our host and the other Gianluca, so they will maybe jump in. So we were saying now just about now about the youth exchanges, which, as you saw, a bit restricted in terms of age because they're targeting the specific younger population. But now with training courses, it changes completely the perspective. So you see there is no limit towards the upside. So you start at 18, so you need to be at least 18. But then after that, really at any age, you could join training courses. And training courses is sort of a macro category. So now I will make some example, but there are many different kinds of things that you can do. So they are mainly aimed at youth workers or teachers or trainers. So ideally at people working with young people in different roles. But because these are educational projects, the idea is that in training courses, you acquire some knowledge, some skills, some practices that you can then use in your job. So you talk about young people, how the young people are living, how they participate, for example. And then after the training, you come back to your own reality and you bring these tools, this knowledge to create an impact. So ideally, in a training course, you go again because you choose a topic, and it should be a topic of your interest and perhaps something you want to improve for your professional development. It is always an international experience. It can happen in your country, but if that is the case, there will be other people from other countries coming, or usually it's you going abroad. And in this case, there are not so much national groups. You might be even the only one from your own country, as long as you fit kind of the profile of the activity you are going to. Of course, you can live fantastic and unforgettable adventures. But in this case, it's also nice to mention because they are targeted also at people wanting to develop professional experience and maybe people already working in different fields. They might be a bit shorter because it's sometimes very complex for all of us to take 7, 8, 10 days or even 20 like youth exchanges abroad. So they might be even 4 days, 5 days, and that helps you to find more time to participate. So there is a lot of kind of the same intercultural learning that it's in youth
Mhm.
exchanges. There is non-formal education. You improve hard and soft skills, so that's similar. But you see a little bit these kind of differences regarding the target group who is going to participate in them. It's also good to know that they are also in terms of cost usually free of charge. So you might have to pay very little fee for the organization sending you, but usually this is the encouragement. They shouldn't cost anything to people participating.
Mhm.
I will make maybe just a couple of examples, John, before we go to the other one. That I said, oh, there are different kinds. So what kinds? So for example, a classical training is there are 2 3 trainers delivering you some content, and of course there can be interactive methods. But you might do what we call a content making seminar, where you actually go
Mhm.
there to meet other youth workers, to
Yep.
meet organizations. So it's mainly about getting to know them. Or another example, a bit longer, and that's why you saw the maximum is 2 months. It's called job shadowing, and I did one job
Mhm.
shadowing now 6 years ago. It feels a long time when I look at the
Mhm.
calendar. And I went to Portugal, and I stayed there 6 weeks. So it's a bit in hybrid between different things, but it falls under this category. And for example, in a job shadowing, you go there to really shadow someone, to learn from their own job every day. And slowly you might get some responsibility as well. So you help them in their job. But the ideal is you learn from practice, from observing and practicing someone doing something. In my case, it was project management in a network, in an organization. But yeah, you can do different stuff there. And yeah, maybe a couple of example, and then I'll pass for some comments also from them. Just two of those many things you can see, and these are all real examples. So in North Macedonia, there was a training on entrepreneurial process as a learning method. So you see how different learning stages can be faced, starting from collecting needs, generating ideas, then you test solution based on those ideas, and you also then eventually reflect on results. So that's one specific topic, but it uses a bit this nice different method. And then if you are more interested in gaming, for example, this was a super cool connection between gaming for climate
Mhm.
change. So you have something very practical in terms of activities, and you test game prototypes. Some of those can be digital, of course, but this is something of the many different things you can do with this kind of project. You can be very innovative, you can mix topics, you can mix approaches, and the more they're interesting and relevant for you to learn, the better. But let's see if our co-hosts have something also to share on this.
I can also share that training courses really let you work on hard skills as well. So not only soft skills like relational skills or whatever, like let you understand how to hover in such an environment, but at the same time, you will most of the times learn something new, maybe a new technique, a new methodology, a new approach. Eh, You know, we always say that training courses mainly are aimed mainly at youth workers, but it's not always the case. Are you an expert in climate change? Are you an expert in gaming? Are you an expert in this case in are you studying entrepreneurship? Are you studying education or whatever? That makes you anyway suitable for one of these opportunities. So do not stop for, for it because you're saying, oh, but I'm not a youth worker. I'm not working with youngster right now. Well, but maybe you will become one. So just enroll a training course, candidate yourself for one of those, and trust me, you will not regret because it's a wonderful experience. Of course, it's a bit different from a youth exchange, which is a bit more informal. A training course is a bit more serious, let's say. Um, Sometimes a bit more demanding in terms of how much time you will spend working on stuff during the experience abroad, during the days, the week that you will spend in North Macedonia working on entrepreneurial process as a learning method, but at the same time, it's a super empowering experience. Ali, do you remember your training course?
I did a training of trainers in Romania. I was
Why?
in Brasov. It was really cool because it was, I think, May, but being in the mountain, the temperature was amazing. So also the place was, oh sorry, it was incredible. And I remember it was my first training of trainers. So it was. I was a little bit anxious because I came from a youth exchange and a study visit, and so knowing that it was a little bit more formal, I was a little bit scared, but it was actually like the European experience that I have into my heart, because it was special and amazing, and I really loved it. I am still in contact with all the people that I met there, and I think it was a really good opportunity. I did it while I was already streaming, and being a training of trainers, so we talked about facilitations, activities and tools, and a bunch of them I'm still using them nowadays. So it was really really good.
What I really like about training courses is that sometimes, especially the first day, when you are in the plenary all together with all the participants, you see people like in their 60s, some people in their 80s, like they're 18 years old, or and you are in your 30s, and some other people are in their 20s, and you're just saying, "Oh, this group will never fit together. They will never match." And then 3 days later, you are the best friends of the elderly lady in their 65 years old. So it's super cool because you can also meet people. It's also an intergenerational experience sometimes, and I really loved it. I remember this when I was in Lithuania. Like really, we had youth workers. It was for youth workers, and we had youth workers like in their 20s, and some others that were on the verge of the pension retirement. But at the same time, like we matched. We were a wonderful group, and I also remember that as one of the most liked experience that I had. By the way, how to find one of these opportunities, how to find a training course. So let me change the screen and let me present again. Sorry for this. Okay. So the magic place where to find training courses is Salto. John, do you want to tell us what Salto is, since you somehow also work with them?
Yes, in short, it's a group of resource centers. So basically, small teams of people working in different places, in different countries. And what they do is specializing on topics or on regions of the world, or at least of Europe and neighboring countries, and support the implementation of the programs. Just a couple of examples. There is a Salto, so a resource center focused on participation, and they are based in Tallinn, in Estonia. But there is also a Salto based in France who works on Euromed region. So they are kind of the support of the Commission, the European Commission, for North African countries, for Middle East countries. So all of those are resource centers, and this one is their kind of general platform.
In this wonderful general platform, what you want to click is the training calendar. So once you click in the training calendar, you have access to the European training calendar, where you will find all of the, let's say, main training courses, the highest level of the training courses. So most of the times you will find really, really cool things. So you scroll to the bottom of the page and then you click for search trainings. And then you can search by keyword if you want to search, I don't know, specific training because you are focused on sustainability, let's say, or on entrepreneurship, or on gamification, whatever. Or you can select the country where you are from, because sometimes it can happen, it's not always happening, but sometimes it can be that they will accept only participants from specific countries. And so I would actually strongly suggest to select the place where you're from. For instance, I'm from Italy, and then you can also select the activity type. I would select training course, but as you can see, there's already other kind of activity that John already introduced to you. And then search for training offers. And here you have many training courses. Again, this is in Malaga, in Spain, taking place in June. And the application deadline is tomorrow. So in that case, I would click on it and then I would apply. And they are actually searching for 35 participants from Austria, Germany, Italy, Portugal, and Spain. As I said, sometimes they narrow the research of participants. There's no participation fee, as John said, so good. It is one of the good ones. And they will also reimburse your travel. So as you can see, I'm from Italy, and I will have up to 275 euro back for my travel, back and forth. And back and forth means that they will pay even the bus to get to the airport in case I will take a flight, or in case I decide not to take a flight because I want to be a bit more sustainable, I will have reimbursement up to 320, because as you might know, taking a flight, maybe not in these months, but as it used to be a bit cheaper than traveling by train or by bus. But if you choose to travel by train, in this case to go to Malaga by train, maybe it's not the easiest, but can be done, then you will get back 320 euro. So if you spend 300 euro, they will fully reimburse what you spent. If you spend 300 and let's suppose 25 euro, then in that case, you invested 5 euro for your education. which is good. You spend money for good. So this is how you can find one of these training courses. Back to you, John. I will again share my other screen because we have another opportunity.
Yeah, and now it comes to what we could call sort of the queen or the crown of the opportunities in a sense,
The
at least.
queen of the opportunities. Cool.
Yeah, at least in this field. And maybe depending on the countries and so on, you might have a form of civic service or called differently. So you basically do volunteering for a few months up to a year. And actually in Europe there is something very similar, but again this can also happen outside of European countries, and it's called ESC volunteering. So ESC, if you prefer, volunteering, which is not the Eurovision. And in this kind of experiences, you get the opportunity to go from 2 to 12 months in a different country to volunteer. And volunteering can focus on many different topics. You see some examples here on the screen. Environment is for sure a hot topic right now. Culture and education, sport, inclusion, working with refugees, working with kids. There is a crazy variety of opportunities. And most of all, this is an experience that is not just about volunteering, because I truly believe that you learn and practice skills and competencies that can really be important for your professional development. So, of course, you grow as a person. Of course, you learn a lot. You can also learn a foreign language, but it's super strong and powerful experience to basically acquire skills. And I think those really make a difference also on your CV. And at the end of the day, it's an experience of life also, because we were talking at the beginning of these statements how scary can it be to go somewhere and so on. It is a bit scary also if you think about going 6 months or 10 or 12 somewhere else. But when I said that I was kind of supported in my own experiences, this is exactly the case. So for example, I went to Portugal for 5 months to do this kind of volunteering, and they provided us with a house, and they provided us with the pocket money every day. We had support from the organization there. We had language courses. So many things are provided. And of course, you don't pay for it. It's one of the pillars that it needs to be accessible to everyone. And what you can get from it is, again, skills, soft and hard skills, a lot of personal growth, very useful contacts. And you can also get to know a lot of other volunteers who are doing the same thing, maybe in the country where you are doing it. And for me also meant that you go and visit other people. So I was in Portugal, more or less middle of Portugal near Lisbon, and I got to meet people from the north and go there, and they would host us on their couch. Same thing from the south of Portugal, and we would host some other people coming. So this is a very super cool experience. But there is a but, because any tool, especially when it's precious, needs to be handled with care. So this means that there is only one time opportunity to do a long term volunteering like this. So you can only go one time up to 12 months. But there are some smaller opportunities for a few weeks. Those are a bit different. But let's say that the queen of the opportunities, as we said, it's only one time until you get 30. Actually, you can start your experience until the day before you get 31. So before you turn 31, you can still depart. If you are interested in something even more, up to 35 years of age, you can go doing a U8 volunteer, which is a bit more complex. Maybe John has some more info to share on those. But again, just to sum it up a bit, it's one of a kind, I would say, and I would really encourage you to have a look at this.
It's really one of a kind. So to sum that up, age from 18 to 30 could be from 2 months up to 12 months experience. You will receive a pocket money. You will not spend any euro for staying in that country. So they will pay you a pocket money to buy stuff, but they will also pay for your meals and pay for your staying, so the rent basically. And they will also pay you for the traveling. So once you travel to the destination and once you travel back home, finally, let's say, like at the end of the experience, those trips will be fully reimbursed. So, and this is true for all the opportunities that we've shown you till now. So even in the youth exchange training course and ESC volunteering, you're not spending even a euro for your traveling. So they are always paying for your travels. And unless you somehow crush the maximum amount of money, as I showed you before, uh, but that's normally not the case. You will find something that is within the range of the reimbursement that they will propose you. John, maybe we can show an example. Actually, we have two examples.
Yeah, I think the first one is one of that you did yourself. So maybe I
I did
start
it.
with the second one, and then you can share about the first one. So second one in Belgium, also very cool because this one is also hands-on and it's also very, I think, towards kind of a career a bit. So it's social media
Mhm.
manager support. In that case, a volunteer that was selected was working on international communication for the team of a Belgian NGO, but this could be anywhere, could be any country. And this NGO actually was specialized in supporting small farmers in rural areas. So they kind of were trying to promote growth in a sustainable way, but they were not actually working in the farm itself, but they were actually supporting the farm, for example, in this social media presence and raising awareness about what they were doing. So super cool mix as well here of very different in a way context, but working well together. And maybe John, yes, for Gaziantep, I think you are the right person.
Yeah, so this was my actually the first ESC volunteering experience that I had in my life, which is this 2 months experience in the refugee centers of Turkey. So someone was actually asking in the chat, I remember at the beginning of this session, um, is it only for European or is it only happening in Europe? No. As you can see, this was my ESC in Turkey, in the city of Gaziantep, which is actually on the border with Syria. And we were working in a city that is now hosting more than 300,000 refugees from Syria. And you might know why there are many refugees from Syria, especially when I was there in 2017, which was basically during the civil war in Syria. So what I was doing was mainly taking care of Syrian children in the refugee center and um, maybe supporting them, spending their life in a better way. And yeah, it was basically spending time with them, which was enough and what they actually needed. We also tried to teach them a bit of English, but that was not the ending goal. The ending goal was actually providing them quality life, and it was one of the most incredible experience that I've ever had. Yes. So again, how to find these wonderful opportunities. So let me share again the other screen. Oof, this one.
And here we are.
Do you see it?
Yes.
Good. So this is the European Youth Portal. Is one of the most interesting places on the internet, to be fully honest, because this is a place where you can actually find cool opportunity for yourself. So go there and check it out. Then you would click on go abroad because we want to go abroad. And as you can see, you can go abroad with many opportunities. But let's say that this time we want to go for volunteering. So click on volunteering and then click on like scroll down to start your journey and then go to browse opportunities actually. And this is where the magic happens. So this is a map where you will find thousands of easy volunteering opportunities that can go again up to 12 months. So this could be your life-changing experience, your career development experience, the path breaker of your boredom, even. So you just need to, again, you can use the filters, you can search by country, but again, I will strongly disagree with searching by country, to be fully honest. The country doesn't really matter. Then it might be that you want to have an experience in Germany because you want to learn German, or in Austria because you want to learn German. Uh, but trust me, search for topics, because this is actually what you want to improve into your career path. But it could actually implement something that can be extremely relevant in your curriculum vitae. So let's say that you are very active in the physical education and sports sector. See how many, even in such a small topic, you have. And then just zoom in and search for one that excites you. Let's say, maybe, let's see one in Paris. What is happening in Paris? Auberville. Sports and languages. What is this? Then read the description, read it very carefully, check if you are living in one of the countries that they are looking for, because they might also search for specific participants coming from specific countries, and check for the description, because you will find most of the information that you might need. So in this case, and I've never opened it, so I'm reading it as you are. Um, it's based in a disadvantaged area of in the north of Paris, and it's a program teaching languages through physical activities. Amazing. So basically, you'll be working uh, you'll be working in schools, in French schools on physical activities, but at the same time teaching language, which is extremely interesting. And then you will see all the accommodation, food, and transports arrangements. So you have the 465 euro as a pocket money and activity cost, plus money to buy the monthly transportation card. So in this case, this NGO will also provide for the transportation card, so that you will spend your time in Paris not spending money to travel with the metro and the buses and trams. Um, they also, and this is very important, check for the participant profile, because they might look for a specific person with some specific skills and knowledge already. Uh, so, for instance, in this case, a physical education graduates and sport coaches, of course, is a desiderata. But again, search for something that fits to your profile, um, because it can be a game changer in your career path. And it's, I think, one of the best way to enrich your gap year, even. So if you just graduated and you want to take a gap year in between your college and finally landing in the working market, in a company or whatever, maybe spend a year abroad, take your time and enjoy your life in a projects in projects such this ones. John, do you have anything to add?
I mean, it can be complicated at first, and maybe not everything can be super clear. So we are also always reachable, but of course there are also many other organizations, many other countries
Yeah.
that can support. But for sure, it's a great place to start looking at the sport and looking at the opportunities, and most of the things are also well explained there. So yeah, have a look.
Yeah. Let me check for another one. Maybe in Madrid, Spain. Okay. Yeah. Let's check this one. So as you can see, this one is not in English. It's in Spanish. So the description is already in Spanish. There's no English on the site. So this means that they might be looking for someone that has a little bit of knowledge of Spanish language so that they can actually speak and understand Spanish. So there might be some barriers to it. So search very carefully. Do not stop to the first one that you find. Search by country, but mainly search by topic because this is um, what is more meaningful to be fully honest. Yeah, so some opportunities might have a much more detailed participant profile that they are looking for. Some others they might be a bit more open. So again, there's a it's a jungle out there. So you will find anything and everything. Good. Let me get back. Okay. Last but not least,
Wait, that I was having messages. I was saying, yeah, Giallo, if you have to go, no worries.
oh yeah,
No worries at all.
Yeah, just wanted to say, say goodbye before leaving, but it was very cool to join you live, and I
Thank
hope
you.
that some of these opportunities can really land to people and can really mean something. So thank you everyone for being on, and yeah, reach out in case. But have a good continuation with Ellie and John.
Thank you so much for
ciao ciao.
joining, and good luck with meeting. That we have a busy person here. So thank you so much for
Thank
joining.
you.
Busy schedule
Busy
or
schedule.
Thank you. Thank
faking
you.
to be a
We'll
busy
never
person.
know.
We never know.
Bye.
Okay, ciao
Hey.
ciao. So last but not the least,
Nice.
we have
Yeah.
Ellie.
I'm there. I'm there. I arrive. Here, tech. It's
Thank you.
tech.
Solidarity project. So basically, as I already explained to you, the first three opportunities that I showed you were that we showed you were opportunities to go abroad. So you traveling to another place and having a wonderful experience. This one is an opportunity to get investments in your local context, at your hometown, in your home base. So basically, if you have an idea that could have a positive impact, a non-profit idea, please. So some people, when I explain, when I go mainly in schools for some reason, like high schools, when I explain them the solidarity projects, they keep saying, oh, "Okay, so I have an idea. I want to start a t-shirt design factory, whatever." And I'm like, "That is an investment. So maybe for that you can go for an Erasmus for young entrepreneurs. This is something different. This is a solidarity project. So if you have an idea to that could have an impact, a positive impact, a non-profit idea that could have a positive impact on your local level, this might be a wonderful chance. So let's say that you want to create a group of people, a group of youngsters cleaning parks in your cities, cleaning the gardens, the public gardens in your cities. So you want to, you might need to create the project, to write down the idea, to share the idea with five other people, actually four other people within a range from 18 to 30 years old. So you don't need to be an association, you don't need to be an organization, a fully established association. You just need to be five youngsters sharing an idea together. Uh, so again, me, Ellie, and three other youngsters, actually beyond 30, I'm older than 30 years old, but let's say that today I'm 25. So me and Ellie, with three other people, we want to create this project that will support us cleaning public gardens and parks in our hometown. Then we will write down the project. We will candidate this project for the European Solidarity Corp for the Solidarity projects. And let's say that we want to make this last for 6 months. We don't want to overdo it. So it's just a 6 month project. In case we write down a cool project that actually works, then we will receive uh, a funding. So they will fund, the European Union will fund your project for, if I remember well, 650, almost 650 euro per month. So we will receive 650 euro per month for 6 months in order to fund our idea, fund our impactful project, and of course we will have our activities. We will could buy, for instance, the I don't know, the gloves, the pinches, the whatever it might be needed for some cleaning sessions that will also engage with the youngsters, people in the town, or even the full citizenship of our time. So this is an amazing opportunity. Me myself, I did a solidarity project. I even coached a solidarity project, and actually, let me show you the solidarity project that I've coached, because it's the example that I wanted to that I brought you here. Uh, uh, at that time, it was 500 euro per month, but based on the inflation, now they increased to more than 600 per month. So it's even more. This project lasted 7 months. It was called Real Social Life, and it took place in Turin. So basically, this group of college students, uh, five, they let me check again. Yes. So they created this impactful project on the topic of hate speech. So they went to 5 high schools and 2 summer centers in Turin, and they taught to kids mainly how to kind of, let's say, face hate speech, how to recognize hate speech. They were all college students from an educational faculty, so that was even an experience that they all put in their CVs, because they managed a project. They managed an educational project on hate speech, and trust me, this can be seen as a very cool experience in your career path. So if you want to have an impact on at your local level, solidarity project might be what you're looking for. Sometimes it can be a bit more challenging to write down a full project, a full European project. It seems challenging, but trust me, get some help. In Europiamo, we can also provide you for some help to candidate your project. But the most important thing is that you have a clear idea, you have an impactful idea, and that you have at least four, but I would say find as many people as possible within the range of 18 and 30 years old at your local area. Maybe it's your youth forum, maybe you have a youth forum in your town or in your city. Then write down a solidarity project and try to have an impact, and try to be somehow an active citizen yourself, and do something for your town. So yeah, these were the four experience that we wanted to share with you today. So let me maybe, Ellie, have a summary now. Share a summary. So we started with a youth exchange. Again, a multicultural opportunity that might go up to 21 days, but most of the times it's just 1 week experience abroad. This is open from 13 years old to 30 years old, fully funded. So travel funded, meals funded, and the place where to sleep is also fully funded. So they might ask you for a fee, for a participation fee, but normally they should not. And in case they ask for it, mainly is to cover your insurance. Then you have the training courses. This is open even for those that are beyond the 30 years old. So they are a bit older. And this is a very interesting opportunity in order to strengthen your hard and soft skills. It's an intercultural learning experience that could last up to 2 months. But again, even the training courses normally are 4 days to 7 days. The extreme case could be 10 days. So most of them are within the range of a week or more than a week, a bit more than a week. It's another non-formal education experience. and it's a bit more formal. It's a bit more focused on training some new hard skills for you. That could be project management, could be a new methodology, a new approach, and whatever. So I showed you how to search for a training course, but again, this is fully funded. So no worries for you will get reimbursed for the travelings, you will get reimbursements for actually they will pay for your meals, pay for your staying. And then you have the ESC volunteering, as Jan said, the queen of all the European experience. This is open up to 30 years old. Of course, you need to be already 18 years old. It could be from 2 months up to 12 months. And this is a full hands-on experience where you have everything. You have personal growth, you have a career opportunity because you would spend a lot of time volunteering and basically working on a project within an organization, an NGO, even a company, to be fully honest. Again, this is also fully funded, so you will get a pocket money. They will pay for your meals, pay for your travels, and pay for your stay. So everything is included. And finally, solidarity project. So those were for going abroad. This is to stay home and invest where I am living right now, my home place or wherever you are. So you could get up to 600 euro per month to fund your impactful idea. So write down a project, become the change maker at your local place, and get a funding, get some money to buy materials, to I don't know, implement an event, even whatever is needed for your idea to bloom. These were the four opportunities. Ali.
That was, I think that was perfect. That was amazing. We covered a lot of things, so thank you so much. Now, if you have any questions, we do have
Yes.
a Q&A time. So if you have any, feel absolutely free to write in chat. There is no form external thing. You just put everything here. I'm going to start with a question from someone that actually had to leave chat, but I took notes of their question. And while we
Yes.
were talking about the training courses, they actually asked how does one become a teacher in one of these training courses?
Hmm.
So if there's also that possibility.
I mean, of course, there's that possibility because somebody must become the trainers. They're not teachers; they're trainers in these training courses. I mean, Ellie kind of already told you how to do that because you said that you took part to a training for trainers, right? So I mean, you don't need to take a training for trainers in order to become a trainer, but the most important thing is that A, you are part of an organization that is actually implementing training courses, and B, that you are trained to train other people with non-formal education methodologies. So in order to become a trainer, which is actually super cool, I love to take part to such training and even test how different trainers they have different styles of training. Um, you might learn non-formal education methodologies and join an organization, an association, an NGO that is actually implementing training courses. So my my tip would be maybe enroll for a training course now and check it out, check how they are normally implemented, and then think about it. You might become a new trainer.
Perfect. Then we have Sophie that is asking is
Yeah.
if the first three opportunities could be in my hometown or you must go abroad.
As I said, I mean, the youth exchanges and the training courses could also be in your hometown. Let's suppose that there's an organization in Torino. I live in Torino. In Torino, that is hosting a youth exchange. Can I take part of that youth exchange? Of course, I can be part of the local group of youngsters, of local group of people that will even support the organization hosting the people coming from all over Europe. So yes, absolutely. So in case you cannot travel or in, I don't know, for any reason you would prefer to spend those opportunities at your hometown, then my tip would be uh, search for an organization nearby where you live that is actually organizing such training courses and training and youth exchanges, and ask if you can help, or ask if they have any youth exchange or any experience happening soon, and then maybe you can take part to it. Regarding the ESC volunteering, the answer is no. You need to go abroad.
I actually did my first youth exchange in Italy. So I went out of my
Mm.
city, but I stayed in my region. I studied in Piedmont, and I just moved from there. It was still a good experience. If you're just
Of course,
starting, maybe also if you don't feel like going abroad, we must say that we are never alone. So
of
the
course,
youth exchange actually has for any group from any country there is a leader that it's following, that it's helping you with everything before and during and after. So you're never left. You're never left alone. But if you want in English, it's so strange. Yes, it is. And then we have Ida that has a super interesting
yeah.
question because it's I'm a British citizen. I'm a British
Mm,
citizen. Am I able to apply for anything? I'm in my 40s. What's the
mm, mm, mm.
situation now with UK? If you
Okay,
know.
so I don't want to provide. I don't fully know, to be fully honest. Um, if I remember well, recently I was just scrolling one of the news broadcasting media that I was that I have on my phone, and there was a news saying that UK might be back in the Erasmus wagon, so on the Erasmus wagon. So it might be that you will be able to join again such opportunities, but I need to check. Also, for many years after Brexit, there was still a chance to take part, and
Yeah,
then I think they stopped. I hope that it's back. Yeah.
yeah, I remember seeing something about it. I don't remember if I saw they are coming back or they are thinking to
Mhm.
come back into the Erasmus Plus, but I remember something similar. So
Yeah, so check for the news. Maybe search for UK Erasmus on Google, and you might find some latest news, I hope. I really hope that the UK people will be able again to join us because it really l- sounds like we're having fun uh, out there, and they're just, the meme of Squidward's looking at Patrick and SpongeBob having fun outside. Yeah,
yeah,
that's exactly how it looks. So yeah, please come back. We
yeah,
want you back.
yeah. We want
But
we
but
want to
but yeah,
be
if
a
you're in
big
your
team.
40s, of course,
No,
of
no,
course. If you're in your 40s, maybe training courses uh could be something for you. Yeah.
no. Eurovision is the only thing we feel like we are Europeans. Makes sense. Makes sense.
Yeah, even if you always get 0 points from the public, but that's it.
Bad
They're
thing.
just jealous.
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely. Good. If there are not any more questions, I think we are done. Giallo,
Good,
thank you so much
Ellie.
for proposing this, because Gianlu was the one that proposed it. Like, they came to me, and he came to me and he was like, "I want to bring Europiamo on Twitch. Let's do that." And we did it. This is the first step on Europiamo conquering the Twitch platform.
Thank you, Ali. This was an amazing opportunity for us. You are part of Europiamo,
I
so
am part of Europiamo. I
you
am
did a
really
lot
proud.
for us today, and I think you opened something completely new, and I hope that we will keep continuing doing even on some Italian channels, because we want more and more and more people to get to know such opportunities. These are opportunities paid by the taxpayers, by the European taxpayers.
Exactly.
So these are well spent money. These are my money. These are Ellie's money. These are probably also your money in the chat. And we are investing in the European youngsters. So these are well invested money. Please, if you're thinking about that, check all these opportunities and go abroad.
Yeah.
Be like take some courage and go.
Let me
You
let
won't regret
me
it.
end with an unserious, a really really high unserious moment, and I'm absolutely going to cut it out from the pod. But we have a way of saying after we finish the events. Sometimes we have a way of saying in Europiamo that it's "Mommy Europe, it's paying for what we are doing." So that's a highlight of this. I'm joking, but it's kind of true. So
It
yeah,
is.
it is. Giallo, again, thank you
Be
so much
brave.
for exactly. Be brave. Shoot your shot. Always shoot your shot. This is something that we always do in this community. So you find a project that you really like, and maybe you're not feeling like you are the right fit, but you shoot your shot because you never know. Maybe they are going to find something in your curriculum or in your presentation that is going to light up their eyes, and they're going to be like, "Yes, you're the one for us." So always shoot your shot. I put in chat
Yes.
and in the pinned message the Instagram profile of Europiamo. So check it out, follow, like, and everything. We have a website that is currently going under troubles, but as soon as it's going
No,
to,
everything is good.
it's working. Oh, I
But
already checked.
yeah, so if
Okay,
you're an Italian speaker, go
exactly,
to europiamo.org,
exactly.
europiamo.org,
Oh, let me take that down.
and you will find European opportunities, and we explain there all the opportunities. So
Exactly.
today I showed you only four, but
There
there are
are
many
many
more.
more. Exactly. And for us, again, Gianluca, thank you so much. I'm going to cut the VOD,
Thank you, Ali.
and hopefully this weekend it's going to be on YouTube. So if you missed some parts or you want to rewatch it, both Gianlu gave me the post, like the permission of
Yeah,
putting
we
their
agreed.
face on YouTube.
Yes.
Exactly. So you're going to find it here. Giallo, thank you so much for joining. Thank you for proposing. It was
Thank you, Ali.
so nice. Let's do it again soon with another topic. I don't know. We can find everything. We always have
Of
so many
course.
things to talk about. So again, thank you
Of
so much
course.
for joining. Have a good
Ciao,
evening.
Ali,
Ciao.
and ciao, community.